Hello, I'm Paul Jones and welcome to WWGay Mechanical Contractor. Today's program will cover important information as you transition to a new career with the industry's premier mechanical contractor. WWGay has been in business since 1962 and we look forward to you contributing to our company's success. Our commitment to quality and excellence has earned us a reputation as a leader in the construction industry. An important aspect of our company's success is due to a strong commitment to a safe and healthy work environment. We here at WWGay expect our employees to always understand safety starts with you.
An important aspect of the company's success is due to a strong commitment to a safe and healthy work environment. This commitment is summed up in the Safety and Health Policy Statement, endorsed by WWGay Senior Vice President of Commercial Operations, Terry Shepard, and Jody Cruz, Senior Vice President, Industrial Operations.
It is the policy of WWGay Company to provide a safe and healthy work environment for all employees, to plan and conduct all operations with a maximum emphasis on safety, and to abide by the safety regulations applicable to our work. The safety and health of our employees must receive first consideration throughout all phases of the work. All employees must be completely aware of the responsibility they accept and carry out to prevent health impairment due to occupational exposure and to achieve accident-free work.
Terry is right. No aspect of administration or operation is more important than accident prevention. All supervision have the responsibility for the prevention of accidents on work under their direction and for the instruction and training of employees under their supervision. While safety training and direction is the responsibility of supervisory personnel, the creation of a truly safe workplace requires the daily active participation of every employee. Training programs and safe job procedures exist for every area of our operations. All employees are expected to participate in, read, understand, and abide by the safe operating practices. Any employee who willfully disregards these procedures will be subject to disciplinary actions.
We have adopted a safety program that will help ensure the highest standards of safety in all aspects of the company's work. I have assigned the responsibility for the implementation and the administration of this program to the Safety Director and the Division Vice Presidents.
They are required to develop and maintain practices and job rules consistent with the company's loss control policies and procedures. Our goal is to eliminate personal injuries, property damage, and needless waste that accompany unsafe practices.
We encourage each of you to join us in actively supporting safe work habits.
The bottom line, at the end of the day, everyone goes home. That's what we strive for, what we work for, and what we expect every day.
An employee handbook containing abbreviated company policies and procedures is distributed to each employee. For more detailed information about WWGay health and safety programs, refer to your supervisor or to the safety department. WWGay is an equal employment opportunity employer. We do not condone any harassment and discrimination, intimidation, threats, and violent acts. Also, any use of company phones or internet is only for company business. Refer to WWGay Internet Policy. One important rule to remember is to call your supervisor if you are not able to come to work. Make sure you know your supervisor's name and cell phone number. Also, in the event of an emergency, such as a weather event, call your supervisor to advise them of your situation. You will also find an employee acknowledgement form in the back of the book. This form must be signed and turned in. The form is used to verify that each employee receives the employee handbook. WWGay is committed to providing equal employment opportunities for everyone. This is expressed in the Equal Employment Opportunity Policy Statement included in the WWGay Safety Program. It is the policy and practice of WWGay to recruit and hire qualified applicants for employment, regardless of their race, color, creed, religion, sex, age, national origin, or physical disability. WWGay also adheres to the anti-harassment and non-discrimination policy. WWGay is committed to a work environment in which all individuals are treated with respect and dignity. Each individual has the right to work in a professional atmosphere that promotes equal employment opportunities and prohibits discriminatory practices, including harassment. Harassment is not tolerated, whether physical, sexual, verbal, or any other manner. Also, WWGay encourages reporting all perceived incidents of discrimination or harassment. Retaliation against any individual who reports harassment or discriminatory practices is prohibited. Please report any and all types of discrimination or harassment to the Safety Department. WWGay also has a comprehensive substance abuse policy. Information is available from the Safety Department. The objective is to provide a safe and productive workplace environment free from drug and alcohol abuse. This policy provides guidance to all employees and supervisors concerning WWGay's position on the use of controlled substances and their effect on the workplace. Additionally, this policy provides standards for those WWGay employees who have a commercial driver's license, or CDL, as a requirement of their job. This class of employee is subject to drug and alcohol testing rules established by the Federal Highway Administration in 49 CFR 382, Controlled Substances and Alcohol Use and Testing, and 49 CFR 40, Procedure for Transportation Workplace Drug and Alcohol Testing Programs. Definitions of terms, types of testing, testing procedures, and consequences of a positive test are all explained in the WWGay Safety Program. Types of testing include pre-employment, random testing, reasonable suspicion, routine fitness for duty, follow-up, customer requirements, post-vehicular and equipment machine accident testing, and post-workers' compensation accident testing. To meet regulatory requirements for CDL holders, 2 random testing pools are established. Random testing will be administered to the average number of CDL holders at the annual rate of 25% for alcohol and 50% for controlled substances. The second random testing pool is for all other WWGay employees and will be administered to the average number of employees at the annual rate of 10%. Only tests for controlled substances will be administered to this group, unless there's reasonable suspicion of alcohol use evident to the testing administrator. Employees who do not report for the random test to provide a sample within 4 hours will be considered to have refused to cooperate and subject to disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment. Upon reporting to the testing facility, employees must verify their identity by providing a picture identification issued by a state or federal government entity. Examples are a driver's license or military identification. Failure to provide identification shall be considered the same as refusal to take the test, and the employee shall be terminated immediately. Reporting time for reasonable suspicion or post-accident or injury is 4 hours. There is no time stipulation for pre-employment testing. Failure to provide a specimen within the allotted time frame will result in immediate termination. An employee may be terminated immediately if, after signing in at the testing facility, an employee leaves before providing a specimen. An employee is unable to provide a sufficient specimen to the testing facility unless due to medical condition. The temperature of the specimen is outside the normal range, 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It will be considered the same as if the test was adulterated or the specimen was substituted. Hazard communication is an essential component of WWGay's safety program. Awareness and understanding of the chemicals stored or used at job sites is critical for the safety of all employees. The hazard communication policy includes three main topics: labeling, safety data sheets, also known as SDS, and information and training. Supervisors shall ensure that each container of hazardous chemicals is labeled, tagged, or marked with appropriate information identifying the contents. Copies of safety data sheets must be at the worksite for all chemicals present at the location. Employees will be provided effective information and training on hazardous materials at the time of their initial assignment and whenever a new physical or health hazard is introduced into their work area. WWGay utilizes a comprehensive safety guidelines and procedures program to promote safe working conditions at all job sites. It starts with accident prevention, and it's imperative that all employees understand the safety guidelines and follow them at all times. Reporting any unsafe condition to your supervisor is critical. Correcting the problem in a timely manner will help prevent an accident. If an injury occurs, report it to your supervisor, regardless of the severity. All injuries must be reported immediately. Accident prevention starts with wearing personal protective equipment, or PPE. Eye and face protection includes safety glasses at all times on all company projects. Side shields must be used when wearing prescriptive eyewear. Goggles must be worn when activities produce projectiles or chemical splash hazards. And during grinding operations, face shields are required. As shields protect the face and goggles and safety glasses protect the eyes, both must be worn. Proper head protection is very important. Type 2 Class E hard hats are mandatory. All company-supplied hats meet this requirement. Anytime you are performing a task that has the potential for a hand injury, you are required to wear hand protection. You can select a cut-resistant protective glove, leather work gloves, or general-purpose gloves. Adequate foot protection means wearing the proper shoes or boots. Heavy-duty work shoes are required. Employees are required to wear hardened or steel-toed shoes to provide more protection. PPE includes hearing protection as well. When working on a project with increased noise exposure, wear approved earmuffs or plugs. This is especially important at manufacturing facilities and paper mills. Back injuries can be minimized by using proper lifting techniques. Always get help if an item is too heavy or awkward. Make sure you have secure footing. Keep your back straight. Always lift with your legs and make sure you have a good grip. Working with ladders is a daily occurrence. Proper use will keep you and those working with you safe. First, always set up a ladder in the proper position. This means using a 4-to-1 ratio. For every 4 feet the ladder is elevated, the bottom of the ladder must be spaced out from the wall or structure 1 foot. When using a ladder for access to a building roof or landing, it must extend 3 rungs or 3 feet above the landing. Also, have a co-worker foot the ladder when ascending or descending. Keep the foot of the ladder level and on a surface free of debris. When using a stepladder, make sure it is fully open and locked. Never stand on the top 2 steps, as this can make the ladder top-heavy and unstable. Also, don't walk the ladder while you are standing on it. It only takes a few seconds to step off and then move to the position you need. Being safe is worth the few seconds it takes to move a ladder properly. Always work within the limits of the equipment you are using. This applies to ladders as well. Ladders are designed for you to be centered on them. A good rule is to keep your belt buckle within the rails of the ladder. Overextending on a ladder can be extremely dangerous. Again, it only takes a few seconds to step off the ladder and reposition it. Finally, observe the weight rating on a ladder. Overloading a ladder can result in a fall or a collapse. Either lower the weight you are carrying on the ladder, or find a ladder with the weight rating your work requires. Remember, always observe proper safety guidelines when using a ladder. Do not go up and down a ladder without the free use of both hands. And always face the ladder when climbing or descending. A comprehensive fall protection program is used at WWGay to help employees recognize and prevent fall hazards. The program applies to personnel working above a lower level and are subject to the possibility of falling, or could have an object fall and injure themselves and/or others. An explanation is included in the Employee Handbook. Today, we'd like to cover some of the basic guidelines aimed at preventing injuries from falls. The 6-foot rule is a key part of the program. Guidelines, procedures, and equipment are designed to prevent falls of more than 6 feet, or possibly the 4-foot rule, depending on the site-specific job sites. Remember, be aware with safety requirements and compliance for those sites. Each employee on a walking or working surface, horizontal or vertical, with an unprotected side or edge, which is 6 feet or more above a lower level, must be protected from falling by the use of guardrail systems, safety net systems, or personal fall arrest systems. Proper anchor points are critical to safe operations in fall protection. This is a secure point of attachment for lifelines, lanyards, or deceleration devices. Anchorage points used for attaching personal fall arrest equipment must be independent of any anchorage being used to support or suspend platforms. These points must be capable of supporting at least 5,000 pounds per employee. A rule of thumb is, would the anchor point hold my truck? When appropriate, a body harness should be used. This device must be worn as instructed to provide adequate protection. Always inspect the harness before each use. Check that all hooks, straps, and securement devices are in good working condition. First, grab the D-ring and shake the harness to let the straps fall. Locate the shoulder straps and pull the upper portion of the harness on just as you would put on a coat. Next, secure the harness around your legs. Finally, make sure your harness has a chest strap. Be sure to attach it. It is important that any attachment device have the proper height of attachment to limit contact with the lower level. When using a 6-foot shock-absorbing lanyard, the attachment distance should be at least 17.5 feet. You will need 6 feet for the lanyard, with a maximum of 3.5 feet for the shock absorber. If we use the average height of a person as 6 feet, this adds up to 15.5 feet. By adding 2 feet as a safety precaution, our total length becomes 17.5 feet. The use of lanyards is an important. This safety system must be rigged so that an employee cannot free fall more than 6 feet. This requires that the system be designed and set up to limit the maximum arresting forces to 1,800 pounds. You would have to weigh more than 300 pounds to suffer arresting forces more than 1,800 pounds. In other words, a 300-pound person would not free fall more than 6 feet if attached to an 1,800-pound fall arrest system. The system must also be rigged to prevent an employee from contacting a lower level during the free fall. A variety of lanyards can be used in a personal fall arrest system. A lanyard often contains its own deceleration device that is intended to greatly reduce arresting forces. Different lanyards use different means, such as tearing or stretching, to absorb the shock of a sudden stop. Think about what might happen if the lanyard were made of steel cable. It wouldn't tear or stretch to absorb any of the forces, so all the forces would be absorbed by the worker. By contrast, the deceleration device on the lanyard reduces arresting forces by giving and by preventing you from bouncing. Lanyards should not have any knots, and they should never be wrapped around sharp objects. Note that knots can reduce the strength of a lanyard by up to 50%. The standard length used at WWGay is 6 feet. Remember, by using the shock-absorbing lanyard, the force received by a person in a fall is greatly reduced. We encourage the use of a self-retracting lifeline as another means of part of a personal fall arrest system. The lifeline assembly is attached to the anchor point, and the end that contains the lanyard is attached directly to the D-ring on the back of the body harness. While traditional 6-foot shock-absorbing lanyards allow for up to 6 feet of free fall distance prior to activating and another 3.5 feet of deceleration distance prior to arresting a fall, self-retracting lifelines require less than 2 feet to arrest free falls. With the shorter activation distance and shorter overall arresting distance, self-retracting lifelines reduce the risk of hitting the ground or any obstructions at a lower level. Whether using shock-absorbing lanyards or self-retracting lifelines, it is very important to position your anchorage point directly overhead whenever possible. If an anchorage point is not positioned directly overhead and the individual is involved in a fall, a swing fall or pendulum effect will occur while using a shock-absorbing lanyard or self-retracting lifeline. 100% tie-off is another part of the fall arrest system. An individual will normally have 2 lanyards attached to their harness. One lanyard is initially attached to an anchor point close by. When they get to a certain height, they will attach the second lanyard to another anchor point. If there is a need to move to another location further away, connect an additional lanyard to your harness and attach it to a new anchor point before disconnecting the other lanyard. One lanyard must always be attached to an anchor point, and this results in 100% tie-off. The Lockout-Tagout program is designed to prevent electrically related injuries and property damage. It applies to all WWGay personnel and provides for proper training of employees to ensure they have the requisite knowledge and understanding of the lockout-tagout practices and procedures. Turn off the appropriate equipment. Isolate from the energy source. Next, apply locks and tags to the energy isolating device. Release all potentially hazardous stored or potential energy. Finally, verify the de-energized condition before any circuits or equipment are considered and worked as de-energized. Please note that voltage testing is considered energized work. Personnel must consult the energized work policy before testing any voltage. Proper steps must also be followed during startup. A qualified person must conduct tests and visual inspections as necessary to verify that all tools, electrical jumpers, shorts, grounds, and other such devices have been removed. Doing this means the circuits and equipment can be safely energized. Warn employees exposed to the hazards associated with re-energizing the circuit or equipment to stay clear of circuits and equipment. Make sure everyone is in a safe position. Now, remove the lock and tag from each energy isolating device. They must be removed by the employee who applied it or under his or her direct supervision. It is now safe to notify the affected employees that lockout-tagout removal is complete. When performing a mechanical and electrical lockout, similar steps should be taken. Request work. Obtain approval. A LOTO permit form must be obtained from the control authority. Review energy control procedures and determine isolating devices. Complete the permit form and tag out devices. Notify affected employees of the energy control activity. Communication and confirmation. Execute energy control procedures and complete the specific energy control steps. Control authority verification of isolation and de-energization. Remember that voltage testing is energized work and requires further precautions. Please consult the energized work policy before proceeding. Due to important safety concerns, WWGay has developed specific guidelines that must be abided by in order to work on electrical equipment. These critical procedures are essential to your safety and the people you work with. The following photographs, while very graphic, are reminders of what could happen if these safety guidelines are not followed. WWGay is committed to providing safe equipment and a safe and healthy work environment. This commitment starts at the top with our president, David Boree, and it is shared by employees in every department and all areas of operations. Your health and safety is our highest priority, but we need your help. By following all safety rules and procedures, together we can make WWGay the safest company in the industry. We have created a set of safety core values which form the foundation on which we should perform our work and conduct ourselves. 0 injuries. Any accident is a failure of the safety program. Therefore, the only meaningful goal is 0. Safety culture. We shall sustain a workplace where it is ingrained that safety is essential to daily operations. Risk management. We will only attempt activities that we can perform without injuring people or damaging property. Compliance. Safety and health compliance is everyone's responsibility and a condition of employment. Leadership. Management will be involved in the safety program at all levels within WWGay. All supervisors shall lead by direct example and through appropriate decision making. Our core values are the basic elements of how we go about our work and the practices we use every day in everything we do. Unlike priorities, these values remain constant and are never changing because at the end of the day, everyone goes home.
Remember, the importance of safety is not by rushing, taking shortcuts, or cutting corners.
Safety is a team effort.
Remember, the importance of safety is that you have to practice it every day.
Hagamos un día seguro para que al final del día cada uno de nosotros regresemos a nuestros hogares.
Hello, I'm David Boree, President of WWGay Mechanical Contractors. Here at WWGay, safety is an important part of our overall operation. Our success depends on providing a safe and healthy work environment. Our company relies on teamwork and cooperation from all personnel. Working safely depends on trust, training, communication, and personal responsibility. It is our intent for everyone to accept our safety plan, which helps with the safety of yourself and your coworkers. That's when we all see the true meaning of team safety. Thank you for listening and for having a safe project.